guys haven't already, you can log into the Wi-Fi. All right. Okay. You're in the Solutions Through Technology session. My name is Stuckey, and this has been Ayres. We also have our two other cohorts, Alison Cattrall and Blair Chamberlain, walking around the room. So feel free to ask them any questions if you don't want to speak out in front of them. So we're going to lead you through a bunch of problems that we found on Twitter that we wanted to see if we could help some teachers solve, and maybe you can use it in your classroom as well. So let's go ahead and start with the first problem we have. This is tweeted out by Margarita DeVoli. She says, I just broke my pencil. I can't take my notes. I will fail my test. I will live under a bridge and then die because it's too cold. So we need to figure out what else can we do to help Margarita with her pencil problem. So if you could go to our answer garden, the short URL is right there, bit.ly/solutions14, and kind of brainstorm amongst yourselves in groups and put on some things that you think would be a good idea to use for Margarita, and then we'll talk about some of those in about 2 minutes. Pencil sharpener. It's okay to put down the same technology that we can see if it's a popular or not.
And if you see an answer that is one that you like, you just click on it and click submit again. It'll pop up.
Maybe has some extra pencils. Jeff, was that you?
No, I didn't have it.
You need to refresh it. Yeah, you need to refresh it. You get it okay?
I'm just trying to make it. I missed the start there.
Yeah, 9975. So it looks like we're slowing down a little bit on these ideas. Okay, so you guys got some good ones. Google Docs seems to be the biggest one up there. The two that we really wanted to share with you guys today were Sketches and iAnnotate. They're both iPad apps, and Ben's going to talk about Sketches.
All right, yeah, the one I use is Sketches. It's on the iPad, and I'll show you why I like it. So Sketches is free, and there it is right there. And you can see it has a bunch of different folders, and I'm going to go ahead into the MAET folder. And this is just one of the sketches that I created last year. It's great for brainstorming. It's freehand, so you can freely draw or add or whatever you need to do. It has these wonderful graphic utensils here on the side that lets you draw in pencil, in pen, marker, and a little ink, crayon, and it even has watercolor too. So you can be really creative with it. On the very bottom, you see it has a whole color palette that you can choose from. So let's say I wanted to do watercolor in purple, or I can even choose my own color and change the different shade, and maybe I wanted to do a marker. So you can see you can do all kinds of stuff. Whatever you need to do, it's freehand, it's really fun, and it's really creative. I really like it.
Okay,
So
Ben.
that's Sketches.
Ben, I think I have a better one for you, especially for schoolwork. It's called iAnnotate.
iAnnotate.
iAnnotate. Where'd you put it? Right there. Okay, so this lets you sync any type of document you want, like PDFs or Word documents, just pictures. So right now I just have part of a book on there. And so if you're reading a book, it's really easy to highlight things. So if I want to highlight this first sentence of this, there is that highlight on it. If you're in a one-to-one environment, this is a really good tool to use because you may get papers submitted, and Annotate can sync with Google Drive and Dropbox and Box.net and all the other things that are out there. So it has lots of integration on it. So if you're the teacher, you can go ahead and just write on that and say great thought if you want. And so that's one way to use iAnnotate. The other way is if you are a student, maybe you're getting worksheets, and instead of making those worksheets paper, you can do them on pencil. So for example, I have one of my worksheets that I use in class, and this is just about solving equations. And you just use the pencil, and you write right on there. Okay, I'm going to divide by 15 on both sides, so x equals 2. And so then once you're done with this, you can go ahead and submit everything on the Dropbox, and it syncs with lots of other things. And so that is my solution for this lack of a pencil problem.
So, but you need an iPad.
Yes, you need an iPad. That's probably
Is it in the Play Store too, or is it just an iPad?
There is one in the Play Store, and I know it's free on Android, but it's $10 on the iPad, which is so it's a little bit more expensive on the iPad. I don't have an Android tablet, I didn't get to play around with that on that, but it worked pretty much the same on the phone, except really small to write on. So, okay. So we got another problem for us. This is tweeted out by Alice at APD. She says, "How come the computer lab is never available when I need it?" So she's asking, she's some sort of equipment or room checkout. So on the answer card again, go ahead one more time. Let's get some of your solutions for what do you use in your school to schedule stuff like, auditoriums or computer labs. Cleared it? Okay. There's a plug in the floor. Right up there.
If you're having trouble coming up with ideas, just click refresh.
Okay, maybe 30 more seconds, and we'll get going on seeing what we got. Already got all their ideas in? Okay, so I see you guys put Google Calendar. Good for you, because that was my pick too. So I wanted to show you how I use that, because we use this in our school a lot, and this is something that I had to set up. We had one computer lab for our math department, and it got used twice the first year I was there. I didn't even know it was there. The second year I was there, I said, hey, why don't we get a key for this thing, and we set up this calendar so that everybody knows when it's available and when it's not. And we actually have block periods, so we split it up into 2 periods, the first half and the second half. And so you can see this is an actual calendar from us in January. It's being used almost every period. And that was going from once or twice a year to 2 periods, twice a period. And so once you get, once you get it set up, it's really easy. I just have these set up as all-day events, and so I can just go ahead and so in the first period, if I wanted to check out that computer lab, I just stick my name in there, and it's good to go. I have it checked out. I like Google Docs, or sorry, Google Calendar, because you can use it on the web, you can use it on your phone, you can sync it to your computers, whether it's a Mac or a PC, you can put it on Outlook, you can put it on iCalendar. It's pretty much accessible anywhere you want to use it, and that really helps when you're scheduling stuff, especially late at night, because I know that for teachers that's kind of when you think about stuff. So that's why I like Google Calendar.
Well, Ray, I think I got a better one for you. And mine is SharePoint. how many of you guys have heard of SharePoint? It's kind of a business solution for it. So the problem is I am in Okinawa.
So I heard there was something that happened over in Okinawa.
Yeah, we actually had a typhoon last week. So the server actually crashed and the power went down. So my SharePoint server is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple screenshots of SharePoint. And this is kind of the layout of it. It looks very similar to Microsoft Outlook. You can actually use the two together, and you can actually connect Outlook to the SharePoint. So, and you can actually download the calendar from here to your Outlook account too if you're using Outlook. But to create a new event, you just go to New up there, and something like this will show up. You can customize each one of these different themes, events, and just type in what you want. And you can even make it a repeating event, so you can plan it for the entire thing. You don't have to make separate thing.
Well, I only have to make separate ones because my block schedule is so weird. I just didn't schedule every day, it would be fine.
And then when you're done, it looks something like this. And you can even color code it to where each of the, whatever you're checking out, if you're checking out like, say a robotics kit or something like that, you can have that be a certain color. And it's really nice.
So Ben, that looks pretty much the same as Google Calendar.
But it's easier.
But Google Calendar works right now.
Yeah. So sometimes technology, you go with what works.
What did we have? Did anybody?
We are trying to put it on the web though, so that way it won't be as it'll be more reliable. So that's kind of the direction we're going.
So a couple of the things up there, I saw a class set of devices. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if everybody had their own stuff? That would make the scheduling a lot easier. Laptop carts, yes, we have the laptop carts as well. And yeah, our librarian handles the scheduling for that, and that's still paper and pencil. So those don't get used as much as as I would like. Anything else anybody see of interest or they really want to share out if they had any cool scheduling things out there? Okay. So let's go on to our next problem we got. So graphing calculators. So Caleb Madison tweets out, anybody have a graphing calculator I can borrow? And you know, as a math teacher or as a math student going into the test today or whatever, that's the worst thing to have happen, right? Is you don't have your graphing calculators. So there's one that I really like, but before we get to that, I know we probably have a few math teachers in here, so can you go back to the answer garden and tweet out some of those things you know that will that you can use for your math class?
It's locked, and you can't get on.
Ben, did you lock it?
They do.
You want to go old school here? Who's got ideas?
Type it into Google.
Google. All right. What else? That's all we got.
Borrow a friend.
Calculator app on your iPhone.
Do you have a specific one, or just the calculator app? Okay. Anybody else have any of those? Yeah.
We have like quite a few to check out from our library at our school.
So just like boxes of calculators? Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so I think we have a treat for you. The one that I love for graphing is called Desmos. So it's really just a graphing calculator. It's desmos.com, and it will graph anything you type into it. So if you wanted to graph a pretty simple equation, I know in algebra we graph lots of equations like x plus 2. So I'll graph these in straight lines. If you want to put y equals in there, it can, but you don't need to, so it's helps you out a little bit. It will graph even some more complex things. So if you want to do a circle, x squared plus y squared equals 4. There's our circle. Okay, and I know in TIs you have to make it a function, and this it doesn't care if it's a function or not. It will graph anything. And it will do even some interesting shapes. My favorite shape currently is a squircle. It's a mix of a square and a circle. So x to the 4th plus y to the 4th equals, let's make it 10. Let's make it bigger than that. And bigger than that. 60. There you go. So there is a squircle.
Very, very nice, Ray. But I think I have something better. I think I got you beat on this one. All right, what I'm going to show you guys is wolframalpha.com. How many of you guys know of wolframalpha.com? It is amazing. So here I go. Wolfram Alpha. It says enter what you want to calculate it or know about. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Squirtle too.
Squircle.
Yeah, Squirtle. That's what it says.
Squircle, it's not a Pokemon.
Okay.
Squircle.
So I'm not a math person. I'm an educational technologist. So maybe you can help me out with this. It's x
To the 4th.
caret 4
Is it dot
plus x
Y.
y
Y.
caret 4
Yeah.
equals,
You just enter the equation.
Whatever you want.
I'll do 64 too, just to
Alright.
make it equal. Then you press enter, and boom, there it is. You got an excellent graph. But this is also cool because it has all kinds of statistics in it. So it's really good with any kind of information that you want to look
So
at.
Ben, I like bacon.
That's nice.
So how much bacon can I get out of a pig?
Ah, bacon out of it. I think I can do that for you.
Okay.
So you would type in mass of bacon. They have mass of just about anything.
Probably massive pig first.
Oh, yeah, mass of pig,
Uh-huh.
sorry. Mass of pig divided by mass of bacon. Press enter. It's thinking, and bam! So right down here you see the result there, right?
Yeah, 29,000 strips of bacon.
29,000 slips of bacon. And you can see down here, if you go even further, that there's sources. Where did it actually get this information from? So you can go down and see that, oh, these are the different sources, and you can even create drop downs. Great for infographics, if you are creating infographics or anything like that. It'll do just about anything. World Cup stats, even stats on your actual Facebook, which I think is pretty amazing. But it gives you all kinds of examples. Just click examples, and it gives you everything. All kinds of lookup options. So, Wolfram Alpha.
All right. What do we got next?
All right, our next one is, oh, that was Desmos, and that was Wolfram Alpha. Parent communication. Chris Waterworth says, how do you communicate with your parents in your school? Are you actually reaching everybody? Is it a school app?
Did we get the Instagram working? No? Okay. You guys want to, how about just share with a group, make a group, share with someone next to you, and we'll shout out some good answers for that. So take a minute to share with everybody around.
How do you communicate? You just go that.
Communicate with parents at your school.
We blog.
Tweet.
Blog and tweet.
Are you your parents on Twitter?
Yes, we have about 84 children, so there would be between 5 and 10 who actively tweet, and then we'd have maybe another 35 who would be passively.
So what do you
So
guys?
it's not bad. Now it's not by no means replacing text or anything, but we're hopeful it's
Do you do that? Do you do any of that?
And we're talking about this also about tweeting with the parents. Someone said school closed and they put it on Twitter with parents. Well, a lot of parents didn't check it, so they had no idea. And they never called parents to say, school closed, so that, yeah.
So what have you guys
That's
been using, been talking about?
podcasting as well. And I was teaching the school blogs and we
Okay.
so that's one way that we do communicate.
So you know, you're like the Oprah of the educational world.
And in terms of technology, on that it's face to face.
Right, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and just students or are your parents following that as well? Or just kind of-
Quite a big following.
Okay.
We tweet as well, and I just think only one parent might actually follow.
Oh my goodness.
Are you going to keep emailing Twitter again?
Oh, yeah.
Is that year on year?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I started trying to do a Twitter, and so many parents were like, no, our kids can't have Twitter. And so, like, I mean, there's parent meeting after parent meeting. So it was really kind of, it was a little strange.
Well, what I did, I liked it, the ones that were a bit iffy at first, I said, well, let's go follow it for a while, see what you take and see what goes on. Like, I would never, if I didn't put a photograph, I wouldn't, you know, that sort of thing.
Right, yeah,
It's very
absolutely.
careful about what they open on.
Right.
But now they love it. And like, I teach, you know, small kids, 5, 6-year-olds, and say we go home, like, keep home, and we're learning this week, or they're in the run, and the kids go home and the parents say, oh, sorry, we're learning something new today, and something, you know, rather than
Yeah.
talking to their local library, you know.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot more about the culture that you have, about what you can use and what you can't use. It does, it does. Okay, give you guys about 10 more seconds to finish up your discussion. Okay, so I heard a lot of talk about texting, especially the Irish folk were saying that texting is huge in Ireland, and you know it's pretty big in the States too. A lot of everybody texts, some sort of text or another. So the one I wanted to talk about is Remind 101. It's actually called Remind now. I guess they just changed the name. And so it lets you set up all these classes. And right now I have my geometry class set up, but it's the summer, so I don't actually have anybody in there, so I can't spam my kids over the summer. So I do have myself in here. And so once you get this class set up, it's really easy just to type, you know, don't forget, exit, survey. And with that, it will tweet that, or text it to anybody you want. It doesn't have to be text, it can also just send it to email. The great thing about Remind is that you don't have to manage their phone numbers. They will sign up with the class code, and then they put in the number that they want, or if they want it to be an email, they can do it that way. You never actually get to see their phone numbers, which for a lot of teachers, that's kind of a nice thing, so there's no question about what's going on there. And then the other thing is they can't text you back from that number. It's just a one-way communication thing. Some other things you can do is you can schedule the text to go out when you want, so you don't have to wait until 9 o'clock to think about it. You can, after school, say, oh, I want this Remind to go out at 9 o'clock tonight if you have a project, or it's someone's birthday tomorrow and you're bringing treats. Like, have that set up to go whenever you want. And you can do it as early as you want or as late as you want. You can do it right then and there, or you can set up your whole class for the whole year if you have stuff that you know is going to go up.
This is kind of a nice feature, right? What happens if you, like a high school teacher, and you have multiple classes, and you only want to send one class?
So you can set up as many classes as you want, and so each class can get their own separate tweets or texts.
It's a nice feature.
Yeah.
But I think I got you beat on this one.
Hold on.
Oh, you got
one more question.
Sorry. Can you see if they've got the text? Say they give you a number that doesn't
Yeah,
exist,
no,
you're
it doesn't.
sending out homework.
No, because they have to sign up for it.
Okay.
So if
So then they can say I didn't get it.
yeah, but they sign up for it, so they have to text that number.
Okay.
So it
So
has
they sign up by text, not just.
Yeah, they sign up by text.
What about students that don't have a cell phone?
It also does email, so it will work with the email as well. And you can have kids sign up both ways if they want to get it, but it's really up to them how they want to get those notifications. I know my kids love getting the texts, so that's what we use. We have a big culture for it, and they kind of ask me, can you remind us, like use Remind 101 for us tonight on that? Yeah, Jeff?
Did some guys from MSU make this?
Was
I
it?
think so. I think a couple guys from MSU made this app.
They're a San Francisco company, so they might have moved out there.
Is this international now? Will the texting work overseas or just in?
You know, I didn't look into that, but so I don't know. I'd have to check into that for here.
Another cool thing is you can attach pictures, which is nice. Sometimes you take if you have like a schedule coming up, just snap a picture of it and it sends it to everybody.
And
That's
Kelly,
kind of nice.
to elaborate on your question too, I had students who use their iPods to do it, so it doesn't have to be a phone. They just use one of their texting apps and Wi-Fi and use it that way.
Cool. Okay, Ben, you had one you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. So mine is a whole learning platform. It's called Schoology.
And if you go into Schoology, this is kind of what it looks like right here. And you can have your whole class sign up for it. And this is just one of the courses that I teach you guys. You can see you can put all kinds of different courses in. So these are the ones that I'm a part of right now. You can have assignments, quizzes, tests, files, everything. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about here is the accounts. You can have a teacher account, which is what this one is, or you can have a student account or a parent account. So everybody can have their own accounts. So you know exactly what the course content is. And if you ever want to, you can always look it up just by going to the website. Up here, there is also a notification tab in your settings. And inside notification, you can turn on and off different features that you want. Let's say I wanted to send out all my comments. Every time I make a comment inside the discussion forum or inside whatever, it will email if I have it on. Or maybe every time I update my course, I put a new assignment on. Or there's also groups or even the entire school updates. So it automatically sends every time I have an update. And I'm just going to switch over really quick to my student app so you can see kind of what the student app looks like. And as a student or as a parent, I can go up here to my my courses, and I can go to my account settings. So even as a parent, I can change my notifications and have specific things sent to my specific device, whether it's my email or my mobile, and it'll actually send out push notifications. Oh, Susie has an assignment. Oh, a new assignment has changed messages. Whatever it is, it will push out as long as they have on all these. So really neat app. I think that is the solution for parent communication.
Okay, I think the Remind is better, so. Yeah.
This one's free, right? Schoology?
Schoology is free, yeah. Schoology is free.
They're both free.
Yeah, there is a package that you can create for your whole school district, and that costs money, but you can have a free account. Yeah.
Have you been able to compare Schoology with like Edmodo versus Facebook for an online? You have a preference?
I like Schoology. Yeah, and there's different reasons why I like Schoology, and if you want, I can put everything in like a Google Doc at the end.
All right.
Put a couple links up there too. Awesome.
Great question. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's move on. We got a couple more questions before we're on.
All right. Next one is presentation tools. Valerie Keene says, I hate PowerPoint presentation, yet I still use them. I need to find an alternative, but I love videos, pics, images, graphs, etc. I got your Answer Garden working, so you guys can go ahead back into Answer Garden. All right. We'll have a nice, pretty screenshot we can put in the Google Doc as well. Okay.
I know her. Did you just randomly find these?
Yes. We were looking on Twitter.
Yeah, I know her. That's really weird. Actually, her dad is a very famous Irish TV presenter who just retired 2 nights ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You picked something.
Did you watch? If you watched the World Cup
If you
final
watched
hour,
the
you
World
would have
Cup,
seen him.
Yeah. Her dad was like
The presenter.
anchor of soccer like shows
For 40 years.
And also, as a little off-spin, that's also Ronan Keating from Boyzone's sister. So there you go. That she's tweeting. So you
celebrities.
guys are so on trend.
All right.
Celebrity teachers.
That's so funny.
That is fun.
Oh, that's really funny. I must take a picture of that.
Stick that back up so
Put
we can
that
take a
back up
picture.
so
will
we
you?
can tell her.
Sure.
She'll find that hilarious.
Yeah, we're not just making these up.
Yeah.
You're famous.
That is funny.
Okie doke.
I love
No, she works actually in
Yeah,
Bill's company, what he set up in like PR communications and stuff. But she lives in Greystone, so I know her a little bit.
Bill and the boys.
Yeah,
right,
that's
during
her.
the game. Yeah,
Her
I tweeted that,
two
didn't
of
I?
her kids, yeah. He's being lovely. Oh, it was so emotional. It was lovely. It was.
Oh, your cause winning. Who did we see using Nearpod?
Those videos.
It's a way of like people getting life.
Okay, guys, you want to wrap up in about 10
together
seconds?
like Wordle, I think.
Okay. So we're going to put all of these in one big because all of them got hidden. So all of them. Okay, so Ben, you had one. You had one of the popular ones.
Yeah, the best one.
Which was?
Prezi. I like me some Prezi. And I'll tell you why. Prezi is an amazing, dynamic presentation platform. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. This is my collection of Prezis. You can see you can have templates. These are all templates. This one, this one, this one. And if I go down, these three I actually did all custom. So you can actually put a picture in there and zoom into different parts of the picture, which is really cool and really dynamic too. This one, it's actually a collaborative app too. So you can have an entire class, actually entire classes, work on one Prezi about vocal cord or something like that. I'm just going to jump in here for a second so I can kind of show you what it does. The reason it's different is because it's not linear. Whereas most slideshows is slide, slide, slide. This one is actually dynamic and you can zoom into it. So this is one that I made with my AT, which is the technical person, and my IS, which is the librarian. So we all collaborated on this, and you can zoom in. Another great feature is that you can add content from the internet, like videos from YouTube, or pictures, or anything you want from the Google sites and stuff like that. So really nice. Zooms in, and you just click through it. And it gets deeper and deeper into the picture, which is great. And kids love it too. Kids love creating things. And you can even make the content spin if you turn the text upside down. It's really fun.
You know, Ben, all that movement makes me a little sick.
Yeah. We have a joke at our school, and it's called Prezi Sick.
Prezi Sick, yeah.
So the more you zoom, the harder it is for people to pay attention to it.
Okay, so I wanted to show one that doesn't get you Prezi sick. And it's called Haiku Deck. So Haiku Deck really focuses on being a visual presentation. It's haikudck.com. It's free. It has an iPad app, and the iPad app will sync with the web interface. It doesn't matter which, if you want to go with the iPad, it works just as well as the web interface. So I'm going to create a new Haiku Deck, and I play tuba, so I'm going to make a really short one about playing tuba. So let's just call this tuba. And, they're big, so it's a bit heavy. Okay, so I got my intro slide to this Haiku Deck, but there's nothing in it but some text. And they make it really easy to add some pictures in there. So as soon as you click on the picture link, it takes a couple of those words that it sees in your text, and you can say, well, this is about tubas, so let's see what that has for the image on tubas. And so there's a bunch of pictures on tubas. That's actually a French horn. So let's pick the one with the tuba. Okay, so that's not a very good picture.
I see this really good for like elementary school or something like that, to be able to, just type it in once and then it's just a click.
Yeah, and all the images are Creative Commons or public domain, so you don't have to worry about them. And tubas, of course, play oompas all the time. So it'd be amazing how much you can get for oompa. Now look, there's an oompa band right there.
What does oompa mean, right?
It's the only thing, no. But, and then if you want to go over to the iPad, So right away it says, hey, you have a new one about tuba playing. Do you want to load it? Sure, let's do that. And you can go ahead and play it. It only takes a second the first time you do it. So that is Haiku Deck. So those are my two presentation tools that we have. We have Prezi and Haiku Deck. So we got one more. I got time for one more problem to talk about motivation. At Elizabeth13, Elizabeth, how anybody know her? No. She says, it drives me crazy when I can't motivate a student. What do you do when nothing works? So let's go ahead one more time in the answer garden and list some things that you can use for student motivation.
Poor Jill. Can't read the tweet. What was I
Playing
about
chat?
this time?
Yeah. All right, sit. Reload it. Oh no. You didn't.
No, this is a different one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You didn't.
I think it is. I think these are people think they're.
Let's go ahead and put them in anyway. We'll read around.
Some light reading. Some light reading for some lunch. Yeah. Who needs Jimmy Cooper?
Jimmy Cooper. I was bringing them to show the pressure. This is the two people that they're interviewing tomorrow.
Okay.
This is the guy who invented Fab Lab, who's a lecturer at MIT.
That was supposed to be on in 3D HTML. Wasn't it? Were they talking about it?
Yeah.
The two lads were discussing it.
It's worth a look. And then this is just if you're interested in getting into maker education and tools and like ideas and stuff, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
So let's think about
Bedtime read.
This is a good one.
Invented it.
Their website is very good.
So we'll put this answer garden in our Google Docs at the end so you can see all the things that everybody's recommending. So if there's some things you don't know what they were, we'll put those in on our Google Docs at the end.
Okay, so my solution is gamification. I love games, and I think a lot of our students actually like games as well. And specifically, gamification through Schoology is what I like. I really like their badge system, and you can actually put attach badges and stuff to each of the kids as they do good things, and actually put experience points or health or whatever it is that you want on there. And if I don't have time today to actually go into gamification and some of the concepts involved with that, but if you'd like, I have it on the resource page, a couple of great links and a couple of really nice apps that I like as well. So you can check that out. But the badges are actually inside your course down here. And I'm just going to take a look at it really quick so you can see what they look like. And so here's my student, BB King, and here's are some of the badges that I have. And you see BB King has earned 1, 2, 3 badges already. And inside those actual badges actually have a description, and it sends it to the kid every time that they receive an award.
So Ben, it sounds like you have one idea for motivation, and I think everybody else has a different idea about how you motivate students. Sometimes it's badges, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's watching a really great movie at the end of the year. Sometimes it's just doing great work, and sometimes that's a reward. So I think when we talk about that, you have to kind of think about, well, what am I really trying to motivate them for? Do I have the right content? Do I have the right way of teaching it? And then maybe later on, you think about what technology am I going to use to get to that goal. All right?
Yeah. Sometimes there's not a tech solution.
Sometimes
for the problem, and we realize that as well.
Okay, so thank you for coming to our presentation on solutions through technology. We do have the last survey that you have to do for us today. So on the very last question, make sure you hint yes, this is your last session, and then I'll give you the exit survey for the entire conference. After that, we're going to go down to the auditorium where we have the keynote in, and the youth media team is going to do some more things down there before we wrap up on that. So thank you very much.
Good job, guys.